Welcome back to the world of trust. I'm glad you're here because today we're going to gently demystify something that sounds complicated, but really isn't. Today we're talking about what a living trust is. Now, if you're financially established, if you've worked hard, built assets, maybe built a business, maybe accumulated property or investments, you already understand responsibility. But many successful people I speak with tell me the same thing. It's not that I don't have wealth, it's that I don't fully understand how to protect it. Well, that's where the world of living trust helps. Let's find out more. Think of that living trust as a container you create during your lifetime. You place your assets into that container, your home, your stocks, your business. And here's the beautiful part about it. You still control it. In most cases, when people say living trust, they are talking about revocable trust. And revocable trusts are designed to be flexible. You can change them, you can amend them, you can even revoke them entirely. It's your structure, your rules, your guardrails. Now imagine your financial life like a carefully painted landscape. You've worked for decades to create it. A living trust helps ensure that landscape doesn't get disrupted by unnecessary court involvement or confusion when you pass away. That's one of the primary estate planning advantages. Assets in properly structured revocable trusts generally avoid probate. Probate is the public court process that validates a will and distributes assets. It can be time-consuming, it can be expensive, and for high net worth families, it can create delays and unwanted exposure. A living trust allows for private, efficient transfer according to your instructions. Now let's expand the universe a bit. There are two major categories you'll hear about: revocable and irrevocable. We've discussed revocable trust, which you can control and change during your lifetime, but an irrevocable trust is different. Once you transfer assets into it, you generally relinquish control. You simply cannot take those assets back. Why would anyone do that? Because irrevocable trust can create stronger asset protection and, in certain situations, potential tax planning advantages. So here's the distinction in simple terms. Revocable trusts prioritize flexibility and estate planning efficiency. Irrevocable trusts prioritize asset protection and structural separation from your personal ownership. Both are tools. They both create protections. They both slightly solve different problems. The irrevocable trust, as mentioned, allows for beneficiaries to be protected from themselves. And a revocable trust allows for the current living individual to make modifications and adjustments to their documents. So for many financially established individuals, revocable trusts serve as the foundational estate planning instrument. They create continuity, they create clarity, they create legacy. Protecting your wealth can be important when you're unsure what the next generation or the generation thereafter will do. And placing those assets into a trust that eventually becomes irrevocable can help develop that wealth. Trusts are creating guardrails for how your wealth moves to the next generation. And that word, guardrails, is important because estate planning is not about fear. It's about intention. It's about making sure your wealth behaves the way you want it to behave, even when you're no longer here to direct it. A living trust can plan for your incapacity. If you become unable to manage your affairs, your successor trustee can step in seamlessly. No court guardianship, no scrambling, just continuity. When structured properly, revocable trusts become an instruction manual for your financial universe. They say who benefits, they say when they benefit, they say how they benefit. And for multi-generational families, that clarity becomes a form of protection in itself. Remember, the challenge isn't a lack of wealth. It's a lack of clear structure around that wealth. A living trust is one of the most powerful foundational structures available in estate planning. It brings order to complexity. It brings simplicity to something that often feels intimidating. And when you understand it, the idea of trust stops becoming mysterious. It becomes a strategic opportunity. Here in the world of trust, my goal is to establish and to make these concepts approachable, understandable, and actionable. Because wealth without structure is fragile, but wealth with thoughtful planning becomes legacy. If you found this helpful and want more clear, confident guidance on trust and asset protection, subscribe to the World of Trust for more videos like this one.